Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dream Plan Do podcast, where we get to not only dive into real estate, but we get to talk about the authenticity in people and how we work with not only flipping homes, but also flipping lives. And I have been so humbly blessed to be able to come together with all of these wonderful people in this community and to continue to grow our network. And today, I have been talking about my $1 million squad, and I'm here with a very, very important guest. Not only is she an entrepreneur herself, she's a business owner with over 17 years of experience as a tax consultant. She's a mother of 4 and a grandmother, a hot grandmother at that.
Yeah.
She is a mentor to many women, not just in her industry, but also in personal. I can not only call her one of our very first sponsors, one of our colleagues, one of our investors, one of our mentors for women, but I can also call her my friend. So today we are going to dive in to the story behind Diana. Diana, welcome to the Dream Plan Do podcast.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
You are the very first female on our podcast. How does that make you feel?
Really?
You are. Yeah, you are.
Good. Great.
So I know you, and I've kind of set the stage for you, but I want everybody that's going to like and subscribe. I'm going to say that a lot now. I want them to know who you are. Let's before we even talk about how you met us and about your investor journey and how you now have a multifamily in Kentucky and the success in your business, I want you to tell everybody who you are.
Kind of introduced me already, but yeah. I am a mother of four lovely children that they keep me on my toes, but they're a blessing. And I'm a glamour.
A glamour.
I'm a glamour of one beautiful granddaughter, and I also have one in the heavens. So she's we have two grandbabies. So yeah. So I just turned 40. I like to say my age.
Oh, yes. Wear it loud and proud.
No, I don't feel like age is bad. Like I think at my age where I'm at right now, I feel blessed. So I go back to as my kids were getting older, like I knew I wanted to progress and succeed in life. And that was something my main focus was. Yeah, I hit like downfalls, but at the same time, like I knew I wasn't going to stop for the sake of my kids. And then of course myself. And at the end of the day, like now I see what I've been praying for. Like it's been a blessing. And I think it's just always been putting the certain things in life to make yourself better. But I am in the tax industry. I started back in 2009.
2009. So tax industry, what exactly do you do in the tax industry? Because I know there's a lot of hats that you wear in that field alone.
So I started back in 2009. I was working at a tax office, and I was one of the girls working in the front. I was just Clayton.
Smile. Who would not have
client data entry, basic, but I wanted to be the girl in the back. So the girl in the back is like the whole show. And then I wanted to learn more and progress, and I was ready for that. So it took a couple of years. Again, I was dealing with making my kids like be good and growing and keeping them forward in school. And so at the end, I had talked to my boss in that time, and I said, "Hey, I'm ready to grow." And she said, "What do you want this office? You can't have this office." And then I'm like, "No, I don't want your office, but I kind of want to be like in this position." But thank God for me being at that location and that place and working with them. I got to learn a lot, and then I was ready to fly. And back in 2017, I decided to go on my own. No savings. I don't even know how I did it with the strength of mind and God, and I left it all in God's hands. But I just knew I was ready again to progress. Left the company, and I remember just praying on it. I remember when I started with them, I had only one client, of course, but I grew. And when I left, I know that I had about 1,000 clients.
She went from 1 to 1,000. You say that again louder. You went from 1
to 1,000. Yes. So when I went ahead to open my office, I rented a small cubicle.
Okay.
I was able to get a good price on it. It was $400. And I'm like, this is perfect. I can't afford anything else.
Was your office located?
Rialto.
Yeah.
The same area that I am located right now in the city of Rialto. And being there, I got a couple of like eye-opening situations that made me want to just go on my own. I couldn't rent from somebody else.
Okay.
They say never do business with friends, but I never knew what that was because I never knew that. But then at the same time, I just knew I didn't want to be just in a small place. I wanted to grow. So I started in January of 2018, I believe, on my own. And when I started there, I prayed on it and I said, God, if you give me this amount, not asking for it, but if I end the tax season with this amount, I already know my next step. So I asked for 400, but then I ended up the tax season with 900.
Okay, 400 and 900. I like the way your money works for you.
And then I'm like, I'm ready. This is all me. Like just sleepless nights, days that you don't see your kids. They probably don't understand at the moment, but that's where I go to see where they do see what mom did and all this time. Don't get me wrong, like I did have a support system with a few friends that probably are not my friends no more, but at the same time they were my support system at that moment. I did hit a couple rock bottom times, but again it just was to pick me back up. Like you fall down, get yourself up. Like you learn from those mistakes. And that's something I always know, that things happen for a reason.
We have an event coming up. You were one of our sponsors of the Naked Truth event, and this episode is perfect. It's fitting for everything that's coming up, and we've been really diving into the real behind real estate, the naked truth, right? And give me your hand. And thank you for being vulnerable and for being emotional, because your story and your real behind real estate and what you're doing now, I'm already like busting out my seams to be able to share with everybody all the successes that you've had. But it's perfect. So the 28th of September, we actually are going to have Diana and other people on the panel that are going to be sharing their naked truth and their real behind real estate. And today, in this episode, it's all about you. It's about your journey. And I mean, we're already getting teared up in the beginning, but it's because when you're leveling up, you talked about your friends, right? Those are your friends at the moment. But you're leveling up and you're continuing to level up.
Yeah.
You're doing. You were dreaming, dream. You were dreaming and now you're doing.
Yes. That's why I go back and
You
say
have
it.
new friends.
Yes, I do. Like I feel like everything, well, I know everything happens for a reason. Like, so I was there, and I got out of it and it got me to this point, and then the next point. But going back to working for that company, I learned a lot and I was ready to progress, and I just never wanted to be in the same, like stuck, and I wanted to learn more. So I'm also a notary public. At the time I was also doing insurance. So I just had to figure out what I wanted to focus on, where I want to stay and give my all in. And it was taxes. So I did taxes and I educate myself. I do seminars. I connect with new people that are know a lot more than I do. So I want to feed off of that, and I'm like, I got to get into that. I got to make sure this. And then at one point I'm like, okay, I'm finally getting there. Thank you. And then
All while being a mom.
yeah.
All while being a mom.
Yes.
And now a grandma. Now, you were just recently at a convention was it in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that convention, because you didn't look like you were at a convention. You looked like you were having a grand old time. And the one thing I always notice about you is you always have an entourage of beautiful women.
Oh, thank you. Yep.
And that just tells me of how much of a leader you are and how you're opening the door for other women to make it easier for them to not be afraid to do this alone.
I feel like if I've done it and I could do it and I could show somebody else to do it, that's a blessing to another person. Like, I don't even expect anything like in return. Like, I just want them to be better.
Yeah.
And when I can give that from my heart, because I know it comes from my heart, like, it's just, I'm like, okay, here it is, Diana. Let's just give it, like, they want it, like, here. And there's certain people that want that in their life and they need that and they don't have nobody to turn to. And I know I was that person before. And
Right.
so just put myself in their position sometimes and I see that it's take a long it goes a long way for that one person. But that convention, I mean, it's every year. It's Latino Tax Fest in Las Vegas, and they do make it a party. um, so it is you learning, you're getting the continued education, the updates with all these new changes that are happening right now with the tax laws. And also, I do take my kids on this trip. I started to involve my family, my kids, and I reserve like a whole room for a couple of days with them. And like my day is focused on the classes, and then the evenings with them, family time, the circus, pool time. And that's what makes the best of it. I think I knew that if I was going to go on my own, if I was going to do my own thing, you'd think you would have more time for your children and you have more time for yourself. But it's actually when you have your own business, you're working twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times more.
Not the truth.
Yes.
And not the truth.
But I was doing that for a company. So I figured, why can't I just do it for myself and for my family? So that one day they get older, they see what mama did and it's possible. It's not impossible, but everything's possible. And at the end of the day, like I know that they know that they have that potential and they can do it. And they always will have me to guide them.
And what are we building up to? Because we're not going to talk about it yet. Because yes, she is an investor. And I can't wait for you to hear how she found us. She is now a proud owner of a multifamily. It's duplex, right? In Kentucky. But we're not talking about that yet. So all of this, remember, she's a grandma. She is a beautiful, powerful woman that owns a business that went from 1 to how many clients do you have now?
2,200.
No, say it louder, please.
2,200. I don't count. I didn't know that.
Over 2,000. Over 2,000. Like, I have to be excited for her. She's so humble. And I love that because I did a podcast a couple of months ago. And it was the podcast was focused on women and women that have full-time jobs or that are full-time moms or that want to become investors in real estate. And a lot of times it's very hard because they're like, how am I going to make dinner? How am I going to pick up the kids from school? How am I going to go to this convention in Vegas when Sally has a soccer game? Or how do I do this? So this podcast is for all of you women out there, or even men, because there's some men that you know that they're wearing this hat as well.
Yes.
So that you know that, look, this is a success story of one of our investors, sponsors of a very successful entrepreneur.
Thank you.
So,
and now that you say that, Christina, it's funny because I always would say, like, how am I going to do this? Like, I'll figure it out. But then I saw my children growing. I'm like, I'm making them part of this. I'm going to involve them. They want new shoes. They want new clothes. They want some money to go out. Help me out at the office. Take out the trash cans, clean the restrooms.
Those were their chores.
Yes.
So they didn't have to wash the dishes or throw the trash. They had to file
make dinner or come tax season and mom's here 24/7. So I need you to help me file. I need you to give clients a bottle of water. Like those little jobs that I gave them, for me, I know it goes a long way for them. And for me, it was like a proud mama seeing my kids and the business. And that was something I prayed for. Like I always wanted that because I wanted to make sure that I could see my kids more often. Something I didn't get to see them when I was working the 9-to-5 job, which was really not 9 to 5, it was like 9 to midnight. But I didn't get to see my kids in the office. I didn't get to see my kids coming out of school. I couldn't pick them up or take them to a dentist appointment or have dinner with them. So I would bring that now to the office.
She has birthday parties at the office. She has all types of celebrations. If you're not following her on social media, you have to follow Diana's Income Tax on social media because they just look like they're having fun. And I always say, if you don't love what you're doing, or if you don't do what you love and you don't love what you do, I mean, you just, the excitement doesn't flow naturally, right? Because you're forced or you dread to get up. I don't get up with an alarm clock anymore.
No.
I don't know about you.
But
exactly. Because you know what you have to do and you're excited. And then after you go on this beautiful trip and get to celebrate.
That's exactly how it is. I wake up with, in Espanol, con ganas.
Con ganas.
Con ganas. And first God, myself. Now I know myself. Before I was like, nope, I got to do this, got to do this. forget about everything else, forget about myself. It was just, but I learned how to structure and something. I learned being with the right-minded people in my circle, because if not, I probably couldn't figure that out, Like, it was gonna take me probably a little bit longer, but there's certain people that I can say now, like, okay, like, you watch this, like, a social media page, like, it's, how do you say, like, something that's feeding your soul good, Like, instead of watching, like, these bad things on social
Right.
media, like, you're watching actually something that's gonna feed your mindset right, and you're involving yourself with the right things for your growth.
Right.
And it all goes to that too, so that helped me a lot. But going to, like, doing everything on your own, of course, you can never, you never. So you learn how to have your children as your team now. Like, hey, you guys want some of this? Help out. But not in that way. But I would just tell them, like, okay, well, I need you here. Let's be a team together.
Right.
And so they get it.
Of
They
course.
get
I
it.
mean, that's their legacy. That's their
Yeah.
business now. You
Yeah.
get to hand that down to them.
And I can see that they enjoy it.
Okay, well then help me understand, because I mean you're already successful. You already your kids are now growing into your business. So why real estate? Why if everything's going good and you already have so much on your plate, and why real estate? I want to know this. I want to know how you found us on Facebook and why you were searching. Why real estate?
I think I always known that real estate is the thing. Like, either sell it or get involved or the fix and flip.
Okay.
So I knew I wanted to do something with real estate. Like, I wanted to learn how to be a real estate agent, but it's the time, like, give that self to learn it. But once I started, um, or I always had that inside of me, like something with real estate, right? So once I started, like, digging, and, you're talking to your friends or people and, like, hey, I want to learn to how to do fix and flip. And then you meet certain people and then they don't want to show you, but they'll tell you, but they don't want to give you, like, their connections. So I'm like, let me figure this
Say
out.
that again. Say that again. Does that really happen? Is it really the truth? Is that how this industry works?
But I didn't see it like I was stepping on anybody's toes. I just wanted to learn, Like, I wanted to see how is it that you can buy a home and flip it. So started Facebooking it. No, well, I guess I would say it, like, to someone and your phone would find it. So then Ricardo Carrillo comes up. All right, check it out. I'm just kidding. But I think I saw it one time or a couple of times. And then after that, I'm like, no, my heart's not there. I'm going to wait. But I just knew I wanted to get involved, and I wanted to make more money.
She's a professional stalker, by the way. I'm just kidding. No, we're happy for that. So you're on Facebook, and
My social media.
know you needed to get in there,
Uh-huh.
and then Ricardo pops up. So then what's
Ricardo was just talking about investments.
okay?
Something that would interested in me as well, because I just had money sitting in the bank and I wanted to grow that money. You go to the bank and you sit with the banker and they tell you, hey, you're going to earn this amount. I'm like, okay, nice. But then I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And, I do taxes. So I'm like, what the heck am I doing wrong? So I'm like, I need to make sure that I know this so that I can feed this to my clients, educate my clients, like how I'm going to help my clients, the people that trust me, grow. And I always tell them, invest your money. I would always tell them, like, buy a house, get married, like all the tax deductions, like, you guys can take that, but go to school. But at the same time, I needed to apply it.
Right.
And when I started applying and people were questioning me what I'm doing, and I'm like, you guys are watching me? No, but what is it that you're doing? And then it was getting involved with the fix and flip. So investment to the real estate. Real estate's always brought it to my attention, like even if it was just to have a rental property. So my first experience was with the rental property.
Okay.
I thought it went well, but then at the end, it probably didn't. But at the same time, it was my start. So from there, like, I probably got a slap on the hand with the amount that I spent probably, but at the same time, it was a good lesson for me to take the next step. So I learned a lot. Like, I made more off of that. I feel like
That was before the Facebook, or that was
before.
before? Now I remember, so I met you at the first networking event that we had, official fix and flip networking event that we had in Ricardo's office.
Yeah, I was just trying to be on the download, just trying to get information.
Eyes in the down low. But how do you have this beautiful blonde hair and you walk in and you just look amazing and you're smiling and you're glowing
Oh,
and
thank you.
I think your daughter was with you. Somebody was with you. You
It
had
was actually, she's a friend of mine. She does lending.
okay.
And she also knows Ricardo. And I was like, hey, like, you want to come with me? Because I didn't want to go by myself. But then, yeah, she came with me.
I
And
remember, and one of the things that stood out when I met you was about the story you shared with me about. We have to mention no names because we're not trying to offend anybody, but you can if you want to.
yeah.
Was a story about your first fix and flip experience.
Yeah.
So before we get into you meeting Ricardo, what you're an entrepreneur, you're grandma, well, you're not a grandma yet, or are you grandma?
Grandma.
Okay, so you're a grandma, and then you get into your first fix and flip.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with your first fix and flip?
Actually, wasn't a grandma yet.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, you're right.
it was pre
Grandma. Yeah, because grandma just came recently 2 years ago. So it goes back to I was already ending my year. I don't even know what year it was, but let's just say 5 years ago. And I wanted to do some kind of investment. And I talked to this person and I asked them, hey, like, I'm ready to invest. Can you help me get a rental or whatever it is? But it was probably one of his flips.
Okay.
But I had mentioned to him months before, like, I'm ready to flip a home. And straightforward, he said, I'm not going to hook you up with the people that I know because I've been kind of screwed over on this.
So he told you.
Yes, straight up. But in his own words.
Of course. He wasn't that nice.
Yeah. And I looked at him and said, well, okay, well, if I don't learn from you, I'll learn from somebody else.
Okay.
But it was just saying, like, you can't show me? That's it. But
Yeah.
again, let's see what we can do to get me into that rental. And yeah, pretty decent deal, I thought. And then at the same time, like, as I'm learning, I'm like, But it's okay. That just shows me, like, what I needed to learn so that I don't do the same mistake again and go forward what I wanted to do to another investment. And it was hard. I guess it kind of, I felt like you trust people and then at the same time they don't trust you or something. Like, I don't know. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Well, I gave my all in that house,
Yeah.
It's still my rental property.
Yeah.
Thank God for that property,
Right.
But at the same time, like, I wish I would have known then.
It was the lesson you learned.
Yes.
And I remember because the topic of this event was underwriting. And so we were disclosing the numbers and how we underwrite the deal.
There you go.
And then immediately after the networking event, you tell me, oh my goodness, I just did the numbers. Remember, she's a tax consultant.
Yeah.
And you said, I could have made more money.
Yes.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned. But
I'm grateful for that.
right.
Mhm.
But fast forward. So now you meet Ricardo, and now you decided you want to invest in a fix and flip property.
Yes.
And I mean, you've been, before I even get into the sponsorships and what you do, you've been part of the community since day one.
Mm-hmm.
You've been a huge supporter. I personally
welcome.
appreciate you. I know Ricardo,
I appreciate
we
you
both
guys.
adore you.
Thank you.
So what have you learned? Like what has been this experience now? Because you are an investor. You are. So what there's people out there that are in your shoes, say 2 years ago, or that are investing with somebody that doesn't want to give them, the connects or the access, the backdoor pass, the VIP. So what's been your experience so far with your investor and road, your journey?
It's been great. I have a lot to say, but I guess I could start with the first investment property that I did with Ricardo. He gave me that trust, one, to be able to, how can I say, like, get involved. Get involved. Um, he just gave me the rundown and he said, look, Diana, this is where it's going to be at. Like, we'll get a contract. That was another thing that I'm like, oh, wow, papelito habla, paper
Mhm.
talks. Like, to me, that's a plus. And then not only that, he's like, well, it's going to be in the high desert. Mind you, like, local, you can go out there, check it out whenever you want. You have access. Something I didn't have with my first.
You get to actually walk the property you
Yes.
invested.
And
Imagine that.
it was just like having the learning experience,
Mhm.
because again, I wanted to learn. I wanted to know more. I wanted to be able to see which each step was. And Ricardo allowed that. And I can tell he gave me that. I felt like, wow, this is like a blessing. Like, I didn't think you can do this. Like, how do you buy a home and then you just remodel it and then, it puts it out there in the market? I didn't know. And really, I didn't know real estate was buying and selling, like, all right, this was new to me kind of, but at the same time, I just wanted to see it, to apply it, and to learn from it. And I was able to learn a lot there, that first one. And I made my money. I was like happy.
What was the first flip? 6 months?
I was actually a little bit less than 6 months.
Oh, wow. Imagine that. How many months?
Cuatro.
Okay, 4 months.
4 months.
I love it.
Yeah, it was 4 months.
And let's talk about citrus. Because I remember I don't always get to walk the properties with investors after the project is completed. And I personally made it an appointment with you, and I went and I met her at the property, and I remember just seeing your face and you're like, this is my investment property. Tell me about citrus.
That was one of my best ones.
That's I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, so I'm
Yeah.
just kind of going like
Yeah,
but emotion.
I say best because the experience.
That was in Pomona, by the way,
Yeah.
for those of you. We always mention the properties based on the street that they're located in, and so that's in Pomona. It was in the cul-de-sac. It was a beautiful project. We actually had our Christmas party there.
Yes.
So
I think that was more like what I saw. Like, I'm like, dang, I'm being a part of this, and like where I'm investing into, like, and it's a part of the community. It's a part of the real estate team, like the Christmas party. I saw that. I'm like, wow, this is like family orientated, fix and flip, and his real estate team, and that was, I guess, my eye catching because I see how it involves everything and it helps everything, and just me putting a part of my investment to see the property like from what it was crazy, until what it became. And then I was just telling a friend of mine that earlier. I'm like, that property was one of my best ones, and I'll never forget that.
was it the best one because you got to see it as a contractor? You got to see it
Yes.
from as the wholesaler that they brought it to the table, the realtor that brought it to the table, because you got to see it as an investor. What made it like why was it your favorite?
Well, the one day we did the field training, how we got to walk the whole thing.
Oh, got it.
That was one of the field trainings. I'm like, okay, this is what I needed to see.
Got it.
And this is where I want to know. And I think it was one of the contractors. I forget his name. Is it
Jaime?
Jaime. He was out there showing and giving details, and everybody was learning off of it. That made me feel great too, because I'm like, okay, this is part of what we do here. Like, and a lot of people don't know this now. They're learning it too. Besides myself, that's why I say too, like the contracting, the investment, of course, but also seeing what the community and what contracting and investing does to one property, so that it can get to where it needs to get. Like a little bit of everything. So, and it was a big property. It was a very big property.
It's starting to get hot in here now.
Yeah.
Literally. And we're about to get into the juicy part of her confidence in being an investor. And I remember like I get to see like from the outside looking in, right? And watching you grow as an investor and your confidence, because now you have this success from citrus. You have a couple of properties that you've done with us. And now I see you growing a team. And she was at every field training. She was at every Zoom call. She always sends people that through her tax company and through her tax business, or also just through her network. She trusts us so much, and she's growing her own team. So now citrus has happened.
Yeah.
Now you got to walk the property, and you're in your busy tax season, but you want more. She wants more, and you're always teaching people.
Does that sound bad though?
No, because you're teaching people. So as you're growing, as you want more, you're teaching people that. That's the beauty of this woman.
That's exactly what it is. I want more.
Yeah.
I want more. I want to know more. I want to grow more. I want to progress more. I'm not stopping here. Like, what else is there? And like, if I'm talking to my client, they're asking me like, and I'm like, you know what? Let me send you this information. Let me connect you with these people. I trust them, or I'm out chit-chatting or on the phone with a car about the flip or something, and they overhear you. They want to know. Or they're coming to you, and I'm like, I'm not even talking about the subject, but they saw me post it, or they saw that I just finished the flip and I just shared the information. They want to know. So I'm sharing that information.
You're paying it forward because remember, that guy that did not want to share his contacts.
But now he does.
See? Well, imagine that. I don't know who you are, guy, but good for you. Smart man.
But now he wants to connect. Maybe because I wasn't ready then, you know?
True.
It could have been. And that's
learn.
kind of what I hear from the situation. Maybe I was just, but I not that I didn't know or wasn't ready. I just wanted to be involved with people that knew because I knew that's where I wanted to be. So maybe it wasn't the right time, you know? Like I wanted to be ready and I wasn't ready. And then I had to find the right people to set me there. And then I'm like, this is where I need to be.
How many people give up the first time that they're told no? Think about it. And so he said no to his contacts, to his connects, right? But you kept searching for more. Think of how that piece alone educated you. And it was good that you went and found it out on your own.
Yeah.
We never would have found her, right? But also of what you're doing for the other people. So I want to talk a little bit about your little mentorship. I shouldn't call it little because it's huge. Because I do feel, I mentioned this last night in the mastermind, I do feel that you're a mentor. I see you are a woman's woman. I see that as she's always lifting the women around her. She's lifting them up to another level. So I want to talk a little bit about that because just you always have an entourage of beautiful women around you. What are you doing with that piece and why? Why is that important to you?
It goes back to like, yeah. I see what us women go through, you know, like, and there's for everybody. And if I can show you or I can give you a little tip or a little talk and I can be your support system, why not? It comes from my heart, Christina. Like, I don't think I do it. I don't feel like I need to do it, like, out of like, oh, I'm going to help you. But because, hey, girl, what do you need? Hey, girl, call me or let's figure it out. Where do you want me to take you? Like, or just sit here and watch me. And if you have any questions, don't forget to ask me. Sorry.
It's okay. Give me your hand. I love that you're sharing this because it's so hard because we don't always have that support. And you're paying it forward in so many ways. And I thank you for sharing that.
But I learned a lot along the way. I learned a lot. And I think God has blessed me to be this person. You know, every morning when I read my devotional, he like speaks to me and I'm like, okay, this is who I am. God, thank you for this blessing. And this is why I'm here, you know?
You are not just what you've been for us as a community. Day one, you sponsored us. She's the first person to pick up the phone and say, Christina, what do you need? Do you need help with food? Do you need help with drinks? Do you need help with the speaker? What do you need? She not only, if someone is going through something personal, and on top of that, remember, she's a mom, a grandma, a business owner. You are educating people along your way. And I'm happy to put you on the pedestal. And I'm very proud of who you are and how you continue to grow in this business. And I aspire to continue to look up to you too.
Thank you, Christina.
I really mean that.
And I don't think it's just for women. Like, it's for anybody that needs a helping hand. You know, if I can, I will. Because it took me a while to get where I'm at. And I learned a lot with who and with who not to. So I don't mind doing it. I don't mind. And I love who I am. And I'm still going to be that same person no matter what.
Authenticity. That's actually one of my questions at the end. I can't fast forward to that yet. But that's the message that I want to give everybody through this podcast. Is, we could have all of these real estate experienced people that have been doing this for 30 plus years, that share all of their wisdom. But why not share the people that are starting from the ground up?
Yeah.
That are developing and growing every day through these hard challenges, through the people that close the door or the people that ask for $40,000 for a mentorship. I'm not saying it's bad. Kudos to you, but I want to hear from the people that are still going back home and feeding their children and planning the birthday parties and running their business and are learning, and they're also helping other people grow. We say that we're flipping one person at a time.
Yes, I believe that. You guys are.
We are.
Yes.
Look at you guys. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I learned a lot being in the community. I learned a lot, even with my time.
Oh.
Even with my time. And just when I would always hear Ricardo say, just get out there. So I applied that the first time, like, get out there. And then everything would just flow. Like, it kind of fell in place. I knew what I wanted to do next. I would always just put that in my ear, like, get out there, have an agenda, like, get your time situated, your time frame, because it's very important. And delegate your time too. And then have other people help you out. And I would always want to do everything. But I'm like, no se puede. But that's part of the growth.
Right?
Yeah, that's part of how I became successful. Or I'm getting to be successful. And
you're successful.
And just I've always wanted to learn and progress. And my mom, she has a lot to do with the strong person that I am. And if she ever watches this, she knows.
No, Mom's watching this. Mom's going to like and subscribe. I need to meet your mom and make sure.
Yeah, she's always told me, her words, nobody's going to knock at the door and hand it to you. You're going to go out there and look for it. So that's always stuck to my head.
Thank you, Mom.
Yes. My dad now is a great, great support system in my life. I didn't have that growing up as a little girl. I always wanted that and understand why I didn't. But now I'm like, okay, he wasn't there now. He's paying for it now. Like, he wasn't there before. Now he's actually there now. Like, and I'm blessed to have that now, because maybe I couldn't have that as a little girl, but now I have that as an older woman.
Forgiving heart. That's beautiful.
Yes, and I love that. I love everything. Everything in my life has just felt kind of like where I need to be.
And now you're in Kentucky. What are you doing in Kentucky?
Ostrich? I'm just kidding.
What are you doing in Kentucky? Because you're all over now.
I just wanted to invest. And I'm like, Ricardo, I'm ready for the next one. He probably thought I was like crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I went into his office one day for one thing, and I come out like already owning a property in Kentucky.
That's the confidence. That's the confidence.
But it was, I was looking for another rental. He's like, what about out of state? And I'm like, I need to hear it, Ricardo. What is it? And he was explaining to me, and I'm like, that's mine. I want that one. And
I always want more.
Yeah, I want that one. And we just went out to Kentucky, and mind you, I hadn't seen the property before I even bought the property. Just knew the numbers, and invested. And now we're doing the building on a new
construction.
Yeah, new construction. That's, to me, that's just like, I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Your portfolio is so decorated. And when would you say you started your real estate journey? How long?
2023.
2020.
Yeah, the end of 2023, November, and I will never forget. November 2023.
November 2023.
Well, going back to the first property, like, let's just say April 2023. But
okay,
with fix and flip, or with this community, our community is November 2023. But and year 2023.
And look at your portfolio now.
I know. I don't know what happened.
You invested, you trusted, you made money, and you did it again.
Yes.
Rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat.
There you go.
Now you also you're growing a team. You're teaching people. I can't tell you how many calls I've been on with people that just absolutely love you. They trust you. You do their taxes, or they're friends of yours, or they're in your network, and they are starting to invest because they're seeing your success. Tell me a little bit about how that makes you feel.
See, I don't even know these things until, like, you're telling me.
I'm telling you, I look from the outside in.
And that, to me, just feels good.
I mean, Brandon, our underwriting department, who just created this amazing deal analyzer that makes everybody's job easier. That's a slam dunk
Yes.
for deal analyzing, which is the most important piece, I want to say, even before raising capital, is knowing that it's a good deal. And you figured that out. Of course, I would hope so with the numbers, with being a tax consultant,
Yes.
but you figured that out at the first networking event. But Brandon came to us through you.
Yeah. He was sitting in my office one day doing his taxes, and we were talking about investments. And I'm like, I need you to follow Mr. Ricardo Carrillo, please. And just connect. I said, and just go. You don't even have to say anything. Like, just go. And he did. And the next event I saw him, I missed a couple and he was there. And I was like, wow. But again, I think too, it has a lot to do, Christina, with I see that in somebody wanting it, and if it can help them and I can give them that, like, why not? Why not? Like, there's for everybody. And nobody can stop you. As bad as you like, how bad do you want it? Like, where do you want to get to? Like, are you gonna just sit there and cry about it? Or I'm not gonna babysit you, but I want to show you like what else. I'll be your support. Just tell me what you need so I can
They gotta
help you.
show up.
Yes.
They gotta show up.
Yes.
I always love when people say, "Oh, I paid $10,000 for that mentorship. I didn't learn a darn thing." How many Zoom calls did you attend, or how many classes did you go to, or how many retreats did you join? One. Well, how is your money gonna work for you?
Yeah.
You were at every field training. You were at almost every Zoom call, and then you would bring people to the Zoom calls. And so you were learning how your money was making money.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, she's a professional stalker in a good way.
And between clients, I'm like listening to the Zoom, and then I have a client. They're like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "Oh, let me hear. I'm sharing the link, and they're watching it too, and I'm helping them to file their taxes, or they're sitting in the lobby.
Baby's in the back.
Yeah, she is just pulling the files.
Yeah. You just did like a sopa. You just put like everything in there and everybody
Pero
got to eat.
that's just me, I guess. Yeah, that's just me. Like, hey, girls, like, I'm gonna connect. You guys want to connect? One of my girls at the office, she's been my main girl for years. She's my right hand, and she just reached out to me. Hey, Diana, I want to be, and I'm like, okay, are you ready? Thank you. I've been praying for this, girl. Like,
Well, you're leading me up to this, and I always ask people towards the end of the podcast is that there's many people out there that don't know you, they don't know me, they don't know Fix and Flip Here Connect, they don't know what we're doing, and I always say we're trying to do business in the most with the most utmost integrity, and we're trying to be authentic. Being homegrown from Texas, I like to say it's my Texas roots. But it is also my nature, and I'm very blessed that my business partner, Ricardo, as well,
yeah.
he has a servant heart and wants to do that as well. So I'm going to ask you the question for a listener or someone that liked and subscribed. You like that? um, how would you define your authentic self? How would you define? How would you give them? How would you tell them to be authentic in their journey? Who is Diana, and how are you connecting with the person out there that maybe has a Diana or hasn't found their authenticity within themselves?
Do it from the heart. Just know that if you're doing something, it's like from your heart, and and if you want to learn and you want to get out there, don't overthink it. Don't sleep on it. Don't stay in bed wondering if you could or you couldn't. Go for it. Go for it. Um, I think in life you let go a lot of opportunities, and time is ticking and we're just getting older, but it's not a bad thing. You can always start at any age, but at the same time, just go for it. Like, and if you feel stuck, figure it out. Like, don't give in. Don't give up because something fell apart. There's gonna be a solution to everything. Um, it might not be as you planned or perfect, but at the same time, it's for a reason. And when they tell you no, you just go for it. And if they see I guess the better outcome of it is when they see your succeed, you're like success, and you're like, dang, she did it, or you did it. I think I don't brag about it, but when I see, I'm like, that's what happens when you tell me no.
I love how you're kind of like one of those. You're very humble about it, but at the same time, you're like, yeah, I did it. That's okay. Do it. You should be proud. I am proud. You again. I'm gonna share this with everybody. I will say it over and over and over and over because when you're trying to build something, if any of you out there has ever tried to build anything, and you have this idea, this dream, this concept, and no one really sees your vision, but then you have a Diana in your corner and she sponsored every single event that we've had. She's invested in the projects. She's brought people to the community, and I want to have more Dianas in my corner. And I cannot thank you enough because now a year and a half, or not even a year and a couple months into the community, to watch your success and your growth and you build your own portfolio, I can't wait for you to have more Dianas in your corner now.
I just always thought I was like the girl in the back, like I'm doing it from the behind the scenes. Like I'm probably not out there like speaking. I'm not speaking, but I'm not out there like how can I say like a real estate agent or something. But I am like learning and I'm doing it. Like I don't have to tell everybody, I just do it.
Yeah.
And then now you're speaking like you're talking about my portfolio. I'm like, dang, I'm already there.
You surpassed the agent. No offense, agents. Surpassed the agent. Went straight
I'm
to
like, I'm
investor.
already there. I'm already there. Like I didn't even know I had a portfolio, Christina. But at the same time, like yeah, thank you. I just feel like I just knew I wanted to get somewhere. Like I don't want to just be stuck. And at being stuck is just like, yeah, because Ricardo says that too. Like, you're already there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
really? Yeah. And I'm like, really? Well, thank you. But at the same time, I just want to go forward and just don't stop. Don't stop. Like they say the sky's the limit, but I just apply whatever I have to apply so I can get to the next step.
You're just doing. Dream plan doing. You're just doing. You're just doing, doing, doing. Well, tell everybody where they can find you because you not only are a tax consultant, you're a notary. Tell them all the services you have. I want people to know where they can get a Diana in their corner. She was my first, but I'll let you borrow her.
So my office is located in the city of Rialto, 648 West Baseline Road, Rialto. Diana's Income Tax and Services. My second location is opening pretty soon with the favor of God, hopefully in this month of September. That will be in Victorville, the High Desert. Follow us on Diana's Income Tax on Instagram. Diana's Income Tax Instagram in the city of Rialto. Also my Facebook page, Diana's Income Tax or Diana Alonso. And we also offer notary public, tax services, personal and small businesses and corporations. Now we are going to be including where we offer DMV services. Well, actually registration services.
In English and in Spanish.
Hablamos español.
You have to go see her. She not only will do your taxes, your notary, with a smile, with the most humble heart, but she'll also connect you with the great people in her network. She's not afraid to share.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about Diana, I can tell you. She's not afraid to share, and it's because of her willingness to share is why she has everything trifold. And thank you. I always ask our guest at the end, this is something we started. At the end, I'm gonna have you write just a little message to us. What we're doing is we're actually creating a quilt. So after our 50th episode, we are going, I think we said 50 or 100. I have to ask Manny now because I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
After our 50th episode, we're going to put this on a quilt and see all of the messages from all of the guests that have been on our podcast and just to see where their journey is. 50 episodes from now. Imagine that. No stopping.
Will do.
Is there anything else that you want to say, think, or I mean, this is your moment. There's so many more moments. After this, actually, I have a surprise for you on behalf of Fix It Up Peer Connect.
Yeah.
We have an advertisement ad for you. So they're going to do a recording for your business promotion, for your advertisement. I want to be sure that we also are the Diana in your corner and we support you. So we'll be ready to record some more after this. We're going to do a reel for you, and that's going to be your ad on behalf of us as a thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I do want to say something. I just want to thank Ricardo for putting his knowledge out there and letting people like Diana, like myself, that want to learn and want to invest and want to be involved, and connecting me with the right-minded people. Because Christina, you have a lot to do with my success. I already told you my reasons why, but it goes back to the right people in your circle, that want to see you grow. And you guys have become part of my family. You guys are my family. The little visits that Fix and Flip community has done to my office means a lot to me. That's a lot of support to me, just a hi, and I don't get out of my seat in tax season. Like, I'm just sitting there 24/7. I met great people in this community. Tanya, she's a sweetheart. Great, great people that I can bring to the community, and they like get involved, and they learn, and they're already expressing how well they're doing or what they've learned. But I thank you guys for all just putting this together, and letting me be a part of it. And I'm here to the end. I told Ricardo I'm keeping you in the corner for as long as I can.
Next thing we're gonna have a deal submission just for all of your deals.
Oh,
Because you are well on your way, my friend. Well on your way.
preparing.
Well, as I always say, with the Dream Plan Do, we are not just teaching you real estate and helping you put the flipper mindset on. We are flipping lives. And I want to remind you that on our next episode, we not are only going to have service companies, investors, mentors, people that are in this industry. We are bringing the naked truth. We are bringing the real in real estate. And we're bringing the real people that are having success and are having the struggles. This podcast was really created to create a platform for all of the individuals that continue to fight and to not take no for an answer, and to show that there is an education platform that we can do this with the utmost integrity and the utmost authenticity to continue to dream, plan, and do. So, guys, you already know that if I'm excited, you should be there. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.